What is up, my friends? I want to thank you for stopping by. You got Ben, aka Sturkules, here, playing my NPDL Season 8 Round 1 playoff match against Regall, aka Ty, aka the reigning champ of the league, aka two-time NPDL champ, aka the dude who's actually playing for the IPL Open Championship later this week. So I'm saying all that to just build you up as to how amazing of a battler this guy is. And to brag real quick, the last time we played, I beat him. I don't get to brag about that often because he always beats me. So that's just a little joke. But I do want to look at our teams here real quick. Going into this match, I knew it was going to be intense. We were able to pull off a nice win earlier on in the season, kind of back when we were really on fire, before we hit our little skid. And his team is really insane this year. I mean, you look at Zapdos Galar. That thing's looking like surefire Rookie of the Year. It's also looking like it's in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. 16 kills, man. But Dracozolt is also a beast. Milotic and Hippo are just so hard to kill. Klefki's so annoying. It has so many support utility options with Prankster. Can set up screens to make it really hard to kill. You worry about it statusing you. And to go with that, like, it can run some pretty cool calm mindsets too. That I know he's put to some cool use with these sets. Even though it's only come a few times, it's a big threat. I was really glad it didn't come last time. Was fairly sure it would come this time. Slowking Galar is a monster. Assault Vest, offensive, defensive, regenerator. And then he's made really cool use out of Sneasel this year. You see it's come 5 times, 4 kills and only 1 death. And I feel like it's done a whole lot more work even than the stat sheet says. So he's shown that that's a really valuable mon. And then Bouffalant and Magmar can both hit really hard, and Shuckle can bring webs and did come last time. So while I do feel like everything needed to be prepped for, I would really say 2, 4, 6. I'd say I really prepped for 7 of the top 10 mons. I didn't really prep a whole lot for Bouffalant and Magmar. And Shuckle I was ready for, but I wasn't too worried about it. Looking at my team, we've talked about my team a lot this year. You kind of know what the makeup of it is. So real quick, let's just exit out of this and let's kind of look at, this is the team I brought against him last time. We're going to center this real quick here. Very professional, just going to do it right here on camera. Boom. This is the team we brought last time. We had a Choice Scarf Zera. We had Sneck Pillow, who put in a ton of work last time. Had a lot of special defense to take 2 Dracos from a Life Orb. Dracozolt, Hedwig, which was kind of our pseudo Zapdos Galar check, though nothing's really a Zapdos Galar check. That thing's just a beast. We had Danger Kite, who put in a lot of work with Dragon Dance shenanigans, and spoiler alert, we're bringing that again this week. Just a little bit different. Actually, maybe not too much different. I think it was just a little bulkier this time. We had Sokka with the Assault Vest, who came last time, a little more offensive. Fake out to stall out Sand, the coverage just to hit everything else. And then All Day Zong to try to trick Choice Specs onto something, throw off a Future Sight, get up rocks, etc., etc. So that was my set last time. Worked well. Didn't want to bring the same thing. Obviously, now we did bring a lot of the same mons, but we did bring some other things too. You can see Stormbreaker is going to be more of a setup set this week. Now it does have Taunt for something like Klefki, who can do a lot of valuable things. Something like even Hippowdon, who might want a Whirlwind or Toxic or Slack Off. Something like Milotic. It's just helpful for a lot of those things. But Plasma Fists and Play Rough hits his team pretty hard after a few bulk ups. But we would have to get Hippo worn down quite a bit to be able to do something to it. But Shookaberry was to take an Earthquake from that, or an Earthquake or Bulldoze from Dracozolt. So Danger Kite with the Lumberry, very similar set to last time. And actually, nope, I ended up running pretty much exactly the same set. I at first had a bulky set with Dragon Dance, but I decided just to go back to the same set. It just felt too good not to bring Weave and Wet Jolly to be able to outspeed Dracozolt outside of Sand. Sneck Pillow we did change up a little this time. We went full-on specially defensive. Similar type of set with Coil, Earthquake, and Zen Headbutt, but we did bring rocks on this with leftovers because we weren't bringing Bronzong for rocks this time, and I did value having some chip. And actually something I didn't think about was this time I went Shed Skin over Sandvale. Sandvale was really clutch. It did let us dodge a Draco last time, maybe even 2, which was just crazy. As you can see, we got a little lucky in that one. But, yeah, I figured this time he'd be aiming to Toxic this thing since it was so bulky with Coil and max special defense. But I also figured there's a chance he even leaves Hippo, since last time I had the prep in for Sand, and I just figured Sand Veil wasn't going to be worth it this time. So very similar Togekiss set with heavy duty boots, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, Roost, and Defog. And actually for a while Defog was Flamethrower for the Klefki. And I did the same thing as last time. I ended up deciding I wanted to prioritize Defog because he does have a very good rock setter in Hippo. And Klefki, who I was pretty sure was coming in, is an amazing spike setter. So I just did not like the thought of him hazard stacking all up on me. We brought Sokka with the Assault Vest again, but this time it was very much defensive with the Assault Vest rather than offensive with the Assault Vest. But similar moves, but we traded out Ice Punch for Super Fang, just because I thought that did better on his bulky mons, and something like Klefki that could kind of just come in. This cut its HP in half, which was helpful. And then lastly, this was our kind of last second addition. Last time I actually had Cinccino and I scrapped it last second for Bronzong. This time, I can't remember what I had, but I scrapped it for Cinccino. I just said it different twice, I know. But not 2, not 3, not 4 is rocking with the King's Rock with Tail Slap and Bullet Seed. That gives both of those moves like a 41% chance to flinch. As you can see, we're running Adamant because we speed tie Sneasel and outspeed everything else. So I figured, hey, you know what? Let Sneasel win that speed tie because we're probably going to not be staying in and going into Sokka anyway. So I just went ahead and went with that. Toxic was for something like Milotic or Hippo that I thought might be able to switch in. If I could wear them down with Toxic, then maybe those multi-hit moves could get a flinch. And then U-turn to pivot around. Not having knockoff was tough, but it just felt right. So let's just go ahead and hop into this battle here. Let's see how this is looking on the screen. We could probably make it a little bigger, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so let's switch sides, obviously. I want to be on my side, not his side. Let's make sure we got our music right here. There we go. So here's his team that we are going to be seeing. Not super surprising. Not super surprising necessarily the 6 he brought, but really surprising that he didn't bring Zapdos because I felt like it just did a ton of work against me, though I guess he felt like maybe between Hedwig and Sandaconda I could take it on, but dude, I just thought it was a huge threat. So yeah, so he's got pretty similar squad to what I'm expecting. I decide I'm going to just go ahead and lead off Cinccino. Either I'm going to U-turn, either I'm going to hit something, or I figured I could even just like Toxic something like Milotic or Hippo on an early switch in. So my thought was maybe even like if he switched in Melodic, I could Toxic it before it would get a Marvel Scale burn. So we're going to see here turn 1, he is going to Scald, do a lot of damage and get that burn. We can tell from that he's offensive. Not only that though, you noticed something that I didn't notice is that he moved first. And I was just nervous, and I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do. And I saw myself Toxic this, and I was like, that is great, even though that did so much damage. And then my thought was like, it really sucks that I got burnt. 30% chance, not a big deal, because that's why you click Scald. You want that to happen. But I'm like, that is a bummer, but maybe I can Bullet Seed, get some decent damage, and then start flinching it and wearing it down. So I go ahead and click Bullet Seed, only to just die, because stupid me didn't think about the fact that he moved first, which is impossible, meaning obviously he's Choice Scarfed, and I just didn't pick up on that. So this is actually kind of tricky, because Scald puts a lot of pressure on pretty much all of my team. Most things don't want to get burnt. I thought about going Gyarados and just setting up all over this and trying to get up to like as high as he would let me, though he'd probably, I don't know, he'd probably have some checks early on. I'd have to get things chipped down, which is kind of why I didn't go with that. So I just go ahead and go Scrafty. I can't even remember what I do. I just go ahead and knock off to get rid of his Choice Scarf. We get rid of the Rindo Berry on Hippo, and then we just go straight into Super Fang. We're going to get him pretty low. And I want to go Togekiss, and I want to start trying to defog early, which is exactly what's going to happen as he switches into Slowking, which is a good switch. I go to Scrafty. I can Assault Vest into this because he clicks Future Sight. I can get rid of his Assault Vest, which is amazing. I'm hoping we don't get poisoned here, and we do, but we immediately get the Shed Skin. So we're just getting the 30% chances like crazy. If you don't know, Scald 30% burn chance, Sludge Bomb 30% poison chance, but then also I believe Shed Skin is a 30% chance. So we're just getting those 30% for days. on both sides right now. I click knock off again, take the future sight, it does nothing. I am getting a little low to be a Sneasel check is something I need to think about. But here I decide, do I Dragon Dance? I better just Waterfall. Last time he didn't bring Thunderfang, and it kind of cost him, because if I would have clicked Dragon Dance in his face one more time last time, I think Gyarados just 6-0'd kind of early. But he was obviously able to pressure with that, and I can't remember if I switched. I think I just attacked. So that's kind of what I did here too. I'm like, do I start Dragon Dancing? And I thought to myself, I really don't think so, because he might be able to kill me. Turns out he did have Thunderfang, and he did have a lot of attack on that Hippo. So we have a very good chance to live this Outrage here, and we do live. Might look crazy staying in here thinking he brought in Dracozolt, but you're at +1. Earthquake obviously killed, so that kind of showed that he was scarfed. But me going into Sandaconda just felt too obvious for a substitute or a Bolt Beak. So I figured he was clicking some sort of dragon move. I didn't know if it was Draco or Outrage. But like I said, I think we had like an 80-some% chance to live this. We did. We're able to kill, so I'm not feeling in an awful place, though this is about to die. He does just pick us off with Ice Shard. Since I wasn't guaranteed to be able to come in on rocks and a lot of what he had left, it just seemed like the best thing to just let it go down. Maybe I should have tried to save it, but Sneasel was just such a monster that I didn't want things taking damage that didn't have to. So Togekiss comes in. I try to Dazzling Gleam the Sneasel. He makes the good prediction. We do get our first flinch here, and then the next two he's going to break through. So that's a big Sludge Bomb. He breaks through. We're thinking, hey, it takes 2 to kill here, and he breaks through again and kills with Sludge Bomb. So we've not had the greatest luck outside of our game against Cole with Air Slash flinches this season. You can't rely on a 60% flinch, but at the same time, like, I remember earlier in the season with a Jolteon, I needed to keep my Scarf Togekiss alive. It broke through, and here I just would have loved to have killed this and had Togekiss alive still, because I could have roosted on something later. And it was actually a decent Sneasel check, though maybe I wasn't calculating Triple Axle. So Melodic comes in. I obviously don't want to stay in, and I have to go Scrafty. He misses a Hydro Pump, which actually really stinks. 80% move, missing. Not once. Okay, he hits here. As I am able to get some good damage with Drain Punch since he's offensive, get some health back, in fact. And I'm actually regretting here. So I had Fake Out. So my thought was I would come in, click Fake Out, let him take poison damage, then start Drain Punching. And instead, I let him hit me with a Hydro Pump, which he'd already missed one. So I deserved that damage that I got. But I should have faked out first, but I was so scared he'd switch to like Klefki. I wanted to get damage ahead of it. So I went ahead and clicked Drain Punch. We're doing that, and it's going to die here to poison. So we're actually at 71, which is still a really good situation for Sneasel. So we're going to go right into Zeraora here, thinking, hey, he can't Thunder Wave. He does Reflect, which is annoying, and then he clicks Switcheroo. Now, I was so worried about screens or Thunder Wave or Toxic or Spikes, plus the fact, like, does he run Flash Cannon or Play Rough or some sort of stab move or even Foul Play, that I did not even think about Switcheroo. And you see the item he switched here was a Lagging Tail. So no matter how fast I am, Zeraora, really fast, it's always going to move decreased priority now. Genius, man. This guy is, dude, such an awesome team builder. So I do get a bulk up, and I'm thinking, hey, maybe I can still do a decent amount of damage to where Sandaconda can come in. And then my thought is try to stall out these turns of Reflect. Sandaconda can probably live one hit from Sneasel, maybe wear it down a little. And then I think Sokka can end game against Sneasel. So that's kind of my plan here. And we just straight get crit. Now, we should have been able to live 2 of these, but I do have to remember I would have only gotten 1 attack up because I was decreased priority to Lagging Tail. And actually there, I think I was clicking bulk up on that turn. So I was going +2. So the Foul Play would have taken a little less than half of my health. Then the next turn, he would have taken me down almost all the way to dead before I clicked Plasma Fists. I think I would have only done like 30 or 40% of its health because of Reflect. So, but it would have been nice to have that damage. But hey, crits happen. Crit happens, baby. So he switcheroos, gives me a Shuka Berry and takes my leftovers. Rude. I liked having those. But actually, that was kind of okay for me, because now I could start clicking Earthquake. So I do Coil Up, thinking it's not going to change much. I'm going to take the same Foul Play damage. Now I can do a little more. Reflect ends, and because of that, it's able to live. And it's going to be able to get off a little more damage, and I think live a hit, yeah, because of those leftovers it stole. So either way, The leftovers or Shook have both helped him. So now I'm pretty low, even at +1. Sneasel's going to be able to do some good damage. We're going to see he Swords Dances in my face, which is about right. We only do 33% because of the Reflect. But also, find out he's Eviolite, which is a good bring. And you never know. A lot of not fully evolved Mons will run Eviolite, but since Sneasel's a little faster, sometimes you run Choice Band, Life Orb, Choice Scarf, even Heavy Duty Boots on it. But we see it is Eviolite, taking that damage pretty well. So he's at 67%. Dude, this is an amazing match. I didn't say before, and we'll just talk about it afterwards. But going into this, I'm bringing in Scrafty, and those rocks actually do help a little. Makes it a little harder for me to live rolls, but I'm at 65, he's at 67. The Reflect is gone. I have a ×4 super effective Drain Punch coming his way. Sneasel's obviously faster. Now you look on this, we've seen Ice Shard, Swords Dance, Knockoff. Ice Shard's doing nothing. Knockoff's doing nothing. So that last move, what is it going to be? Is it low kick? Not that heavy, so that's not a big deal. Could it be Brick Break in case I brought screens? Doubtful. I can't remember if it gets superpower. But then I calced Icicle Crash. I'm like, I think that's the most likely move. I don't think he'd run Ice Punch. Icicle Crash, I would just have to live the hit, which I would have every time, barring a crit, and I would have had to not get flinched. And then you're going to see, I don't know if you can see the comments actually, but then I kind of started to realize there's one move I'm not thinking about. And right at that time, he messages me in the chat, and he says, hey, no matter what happens with this triple axle, I love you. And I'm like, oh, he has triple axle. What that meant is triple axle hits 3 times, doubles in power each time. Very strong move for a stab ice type mon at +2. If he'd missed, so it's a 90% move, but it's 90% each of the 3 hits. So if he misses altogether, that would have really been unfortunate. Obviously I kill. If he hits once, he does not kill. If he hits twice, he does not kill. So it's going to come down to, can he hit all 3 hits of this triple axle? Super intense. This was an amazing playoff match. Honestly, one of the most fun matches I've ever played, and I know everyone was getting hyped for it. I think this was easily one of the best matches of the season, and maybe I'm tooting my own horn here just because I was a part of it. I don't think I played super well or anything, but just how it came down, I think this was one of the best NPDL playoff matches ever. And as we see, he clicks triple axle. There's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. He gets him. He gets the win. He deserved to hit all 3 of those. I'm really I can't say I'm glad he won, but I am glad he hit those 3 because there were a lot of hacks already as it was, right? We already had that 30% trio at the start, and then he missed 2 hydro pumps. Then I had that unfortunate crit on Zera. I feel like at that point, things seemed to have all evened out. We'd both had a lot of stupid stuff against us, so this felt right. Him hitting all 3 of those. And right there, man, Ty, he's going on to the second round. Seriously, absolutely one of the most fun games that I've ever been a part of. And I guess I just have to be thrilled I played such a great player so close, especially being able to take him out once this season already. I don't really think there was a chance that I was beating him twice. Then again, I say that. It was very close. A few things to note. One, this breaks he and I's playoff tiebreaker. Now, in the past, we've played quite a bit more times than that, and he's almost always beaten me. I seriously think I've beaten him once before, maybe twice, but I think just once, and he'd beaten before this season. I've beaten him twice before for sure, but he's beaten me a lot more times than that. We've had some close matches before, but in the playoffs, we actually played Season 1. He took over for a team that was I don't think had won any games, and he basically won out and got them to the playoffs, and upset me in round 1, as in I was a higher seed. Beat me in my rain team. And then Season 2, we played in the semifinals and had one of the weirdest matches ever, where it looked like he had me early and I made a huge comeback with only Rotom Heat and Ferrothorn he had Hydreigon. I can't remember what else, but it was one of those things where we had a million straight 50-50s, and I just kept getting lucky and getting the 50-50s right, and eventually won. So he breaks the playoff tiebreaker here, takes the lead with that, and he's going on to the Final Four, trying to get his 3rd championship. Now, Henrik, Regall, and Cooper all have 2 championships under their belt, and then Prisley has 1. No one else in the league has ever won one. I'm going to show you the final standings, but Cooper is out. So it's down to Henrik and Regall on if they can get that third. And then, well, you'll see the last two who are still in there. But the other thing that I wanted to note, we'll go ahead and start opening this up. The other thing I wanted to note is this is 2 straight seasons for me where I have beaten the reigning champ and then been unfortunate enough to have to play them in the first round. So I don't know if I want pity or what I want, but I just want it to be known that that happened, and I thought that was kind of crazy. But let's go to the schedule here real quick, see how updated that is. So yeah, last year I was able to beat Henrik in like the second to last week, and then he beat me in the last week, and what were both like, I think 1-0s. Yeah, and then this year I beat Ty, and then he was able to 1-0 me. So I guess I'm happy I'm playing such good players so closely. So, and by the way, Henrik and Ty, if anyone watching who aren't in our league, obviously our league knows, but them two are playing each other in the IPL Open Finals. 144 coaches entered, a whole lot more wanted in, and those two made it. So right here, you're seeing what the playoffs are. I guess they haven't been recorded yet, but what happened is Henrik and his Washington Alakazams took out Zach and his Chicago Blackhawks. Ball and his California Clobbopus took out Connor and his Boston Bidoof. That one was super intense. Connor had an amazing season to get there. Also really amazing that Zach made it in his first season in the league. The Houston and Zach got through based off of a play-in round win, so he did win his first playoff match technically. Lost in the first official round. Regall obviously just beat me in the first round, and then Prisley pulled the upset on Cooper for his first round game. Prisley also who won the play-in match to get there. So how the seeding works based off of that, gets a fixed bracket is Regall and Prisley are going to play each other, and then Ball and Henrik are going to play each other. So you got Henrik going for his third, you got Ball going for his first. Ball should have been to a championship before. Had a great season and just had a lot of unfortunate things keep him out. But he has his chance this season. Regall going for his third and Prisley going for his second. Some of the most consistent battlers in the league and just in general that I've faced. So, guys, that is the video. Hope you are hope you're excited to see how the rest of the NPDL playoffs goes. My journey unfortunately ends here, but it was a really fun season. We've rebranded back to the Tennessee Titan Growth, so for Season 9, we will have that all season. But I loved the team. Yeah, really fun team to use. Loved using Zera Aura. Loved using Sandaconda. Just had a lot of cool ones that I'd never used before. So that's it. That's this season. We'll be having the draft coming up soon. But hopefully, in some way, I'll be able to let you guys know who won it all. But I am going to go ahead and hop on out of here. I want to thank you for watching, and I want you to have yourself a great night. Peace.